meeting will start in 2 minutes. The official ASEAN Summit will begin in 1 minute.
Okay, please hear a round of applause for the chair. Yes.
The chair would like to call the meeting to order. The committee is now in session. Greeting to His Majesty, His and Her Excellency, guests, distinguished delegates from all ASEAN member states. Thank you for being here in the presence of the 42nd ASEAN Summit. It is our privilege to be here today as the chair of this meeting. We, the representative of the Republic of Indonesia, preside over this meeting. Before we begin, the chair would like to invite Royal Highness, His and Her Excellency, guests, distinguished delegates from all ASEAN states, to rise and direct your attention to the ASEAN flag, located on the slide in the front, for playing the ASEAN anthem. delegates, you may have a seat. And now the chair would like to begin with the initial agenda of today's summit, which is the roll call. Any delegates that hear your country's name, please respond with present to be recognized. Brunei Darussalam. The Kingdom of Cambodia. The Laos People's Democratic Republic. The Federation of Malaysia. The Union of Myanmar. The Republic of Philippines. The Republic of Singapore. The Kingdom of Thailand. The Socialist Republic of Vietnam. Thank you, delegates. It looks like we have a full attendance today. Let's proceed to the next meeting agenda, which is the opening remarks from the chair. Good evening again, His Majesty, His and Her Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, all distinguished delegates from all member states of the Association of Southeast Asia. A very warm welcome to the 42nd ASEAN Summit 2023 in the Republic of Indonesia. We, the Republic of Indonesia, have such great honor to be hosting this year's ASEAN Summit. Remarkably, today's summit will be focusing on a significant issue which has been an ongoing issue in our region, pertaining to response to the growing influence of China in terms of power and economy. We, the Republic of Indonesia, would like to read the position paper of the Republic of Indonesia country stand to respond to the growing influence of China in terms of power and economy. Dependence on Chinese investment could have negative economic and political repercussions for Indonesia. Indonesia's financial obligation to China are growing, and there are concerns that will continue to grow apart from the economic standpoint. Indonesia's growing dependence on China has some political impacts as Indonesia continues our reliance on China. It has increasingly become more difficult to counter China's growing aggression in the South China Sea. We are unable to act aggressively to solve this issue due to our relation with China. Indonesia's reliance on China may jeopardize our foreign policy neutrality. It could harm our Indonesia's credibility in global politics as we fail to defend our principles. We, the Republic of Indonesia, have a good relationship with the People's Republic of China in terms of economics. Our stand on this issue is to maintain a balanced economic relationship with China, while pursuing our own national interests and values. China's investment in Indonesia's infrastructure has strengthened connectivity, accelerated economic growth, and promote the rise of regional industries. It has been demonstrated by initiatives like the 6 million Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train project, which links Jakarta and Bandung during construction. The project is anticipated to generate 40,000 employment annually, while giving the nearby sectors a major boost. Foreign direct investment from China can reduce the financial burden on the Indonesian government, which can use our funds for other development priorities. China also contributes to Indonesia industrialization and digitalization. Through investments, in 2017, Alibaba invested in Tokopedia, an Indonesian e-commerce firm, which later went public as PO2 in April 2022. Other notable investments include the deployment of the first operational 5G system in Indonesia's easternmost province, Papua. Furthermore, Chinese tech giants like Alibaba and Tencent also built several data centers in Indonesia to support the country's growing digital economy. These investments not only contribute to Indonesia's economic growth, but also improve our digital infrastructure, leading to the development of new industries and job opportunities. We, the Republic of Indonesia, would like to urge all ASEAN member states to look into formulating practical plans for business cooperation with China. Here are the following solutions. 1. Indonesia encourages all member states to seek diversity their trade partners to reduce dependence on China. This can be done by expanding trade relationships with other countries or exploring new markets. We will seek to expand our markets and sources of supply in other regions such as Southeast Asia, Europe, Africa, and North America. We should also participate in multilateral trade agreements and frameworks that promote fair and open trade, such as Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership and World Trade Organizations. 2. ASEAN and China should maintain dialogue and consultation on regional and global issues of common concerns or interests, such as peace and security, climate change, public health, and human rights. ASEAN and China should work together to support peaceful resolution of the South China Sea issue and the whole principles of human dignity and diversity. Thank you, delegates, for your attention. As the position paper of the Republic of Indonesia has been presented, we should now proceed to the speaker list so that your countries have the opportunity to present your stand on the issue by reading out your position papers. Please be noticed that during this session, each of the delegate will be given an opportunity to express your opinions toward this matter, and all the voices will be taken into account. It is very significant to address that the decision we make today will not only affect us, but the generation that follows. The chair would like to remind all the respected delegates here that the path we choose to pursue has to be one of the most objective, which is to find effective and efficient solution for a response to the growing influence of China in terms of power and economy. Thus, the timeline and action must be practical, that we can achieve forward, despite the fact that all the delegates represent different countries and interests. Today, we are here to collaborate to find the solution of this alarming issue. Respectively, in order to make this desire become more successful, we need strong commitment and strong cooperation from every nation here in the association. Thus, international cooperation is initiated only to help ease dispute among the member states, but for collective purpose of the true establishment of world peace and stability. Thank you. The speaker list now open with 2 minutes speaking time. For those who wish to include their countries into the speakers list, please raise your hand. Thank you. The chair would like to call the speakers list countries by the alphabetical order. We have Brunei Darussalam, the Kingdom of Cambodia, the Last People Democratic Republic, the Federation of Malaysia, the Union of Myanmar, the Republic of Philippines, the Republic of Singapore, the Kingdom of Thailand, and the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. Now the chair would like to invite Brunei Darussalam to express your concerns regarding the issue. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
Your Excellency, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of people and the government of Brunei Darussalam,
Sorry, I think you should take off your mask during the speaking time, yes. And then the rest you can wear. Because he needs to take photo.
Your Excellencies, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of people and the government of Brunei Darussalam, we would like to extend our utmost appreciation to the host country, as well as the Chair of Indonesia, for his chairmanship of this meet today. It is indeed a great honor and a privilege for us to be here with all delegates. Over the past few decades, China's economy has expanded to become one of the biggest and most powerful in the world. However, the COVID-19 pandemic has cut the economy of China to decrease dramatically. And these would affect not only China, but also other countries that have trading partner with China, especially in ASEAN countries. As Brunei is a country that also depends on China in terms of trading, an economic agreement with China can bring several benefits. China and Brunei have deepened collaboration, targeting mutual benefits and win-win results, and building various bilateral commercial and trade mechanisms to advance cooperation. Consequently, overdependence on China for the economy can pose unexpected hazards. Relying on China for economic support could expose Brunei Darussalam to heightened geographical threats, as well as having severe consequences for social and environmental sustainability. Therefore, Brunei Darussalam has been concerned about some issues which result from economic overdependence on China, especially during the pandemics. We encourage ASEAN member states to explore solutions to ensure the sustainability of the development. Here are the following solutions. Once, we encourage ASEAN member states to diversify trade with other countries in order to mitigate the effects of any potential disruption to trade with China, such as the COVID-19 pandemic. Second, since the flow of export and imports in many countries was interrupted during the pandemic, we suggest all ASEAN member states to ensure the supply chain are strong and resilient and have alternative strategies in place to keep production running in case of unforeseeable interruption. Lastly, we urge member states to end the work to promote ASEAN economic integration and to strengthen connection with major extra-regional economies in order to allay concern about economic dependence on China. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. And our chair would like to take 30 seconds to summarize Brunei Delegate's speech. An economic partnership with China can be advantageous for Brunei because it is too dependent on China for its import and export trade. In order to develop their cooperation, China and Brunei have intensified their cooperation and built a number of bilateral economic and trade channels. Accidentally, China's recent economic crisis was brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic over the past 2 years. Therefore, economic overdependence on China can present unforeseen risks. However, relying on China for economic support could put Brunei Darussalam at greater risk for geopolitical threats and negative effects on its ability to sustain its social and environmental system. The state of Brunei firmly believes that our nation shouldn't be entirely dependent on China's economy. Due to its excessive reliance on China for economic growth, Brunei Darussalam has been concerned about a number of issues, particularly during the pandemic. We enjoin ASEAN members to look into possible ways to ensure the development sustainability as the primary means of mitigating the effects of any potential disruptions to trade with China. Such as COVID-19 pandemic, we encourage ASEAN member states to diversify their trades with other nations. Next, the chair would like to invite the Kingdom of Cambodia to express their concerns regarding the issue. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and greeting Your Majesty, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow ASEAN members. China's strong business and investment have influenced Cambodia's economic growth, diplomacy, and security. However, the pandemic has led to business closures and bankruptcy, highlighting the importance of not becoming overly dependent on a single country. Cambodia has benefited from China's infrastructure projects, including roads, bridges, ports, airports, hydropower plants, economic zones, and a national stadium. However, Cambodia has also lost investment opportunity with ASEAN, the US, and Japan. The US has implemented policy alternatives targeting government leaders and delaying the renewal of GSP trade preference program, potentially causing a loss for Cambodia, which is its largest market for agricultural and appeal products. We, the Kingdom of Cambodia, should still embrace Chinese investment, even though the relationship between China and Cambodia has both advantages and disadvantages with economic support from China. And Cambodia will become stronger and more stable, allowing it to rapidly embark on much-needed structural reforms to reduce energy costs and enhance the infrastructure. In addition, China is the largest source of development assistance, having helped Cambodia grow in various fields, including agriculture, agro-industry, tourism, and infrastructure. In order to gain more opportunities than China provides, Cambodia should also work harder to steer those investments into skill development in electronic manufacturing, the automotive sector, and food processing. And nevertheless, Cambodia should rebuild ASEAN bonds, collaborate with US, Japan, and South Korea, adopt rule-based borrowing, and promote governance, social, and environmental responsibility for long-term development. And now we would like to hand the floor back to Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. The Chair would like to take 30 seconds to summarize Cambodia's delegate speech. China's business and investments have impacted Cambodia's economic growth, diplomacy, and security. Cambodia is still embracing Chinese investment to strengthen its relationship with China, enabling structural reforms and infrastructure enhancements. Since China is the largest source of development assistance, Cambodia is focusing on skill development in electronics, manufacturing, automotive, and food processing. Additionally, Cambodia will rebuild a strong bond with ASEAN and promote rule-based borrowing, as well as promoting good governance, social, and environmental responsibility will contribute to Cambodia's long-term development. This time, the Chair would like to invite the Laos People's Democratic Republic to express their concerns. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for handing me the floor. First of all, I would like to pay my greatest honor and respect to the Chair of this ASEAN Summit, Your Excellency, all delegate, ladies and gentlemen. Very good evening. We, the Laos Democratic Republic, are here to voice our awareness of the situation since the COVID-19 pandemic has had a gigantic impact on the economy. Over the past 3 decades, our country, Laos Democratic Republic, has advanced significantly in terms of economy. In an attempt to enhance the country's economic prospects, which are becoming increasingly reliant on the economic integrations of Asian and export-led development. In order to improve our country's prospects, we are bound to form a partnership with China. We are well recognized for keeping up excellent relations with China for specific trading, investment, and exceptionally our infrastructure. We have invested a significant amount from the budget that we received from China on many development projects. However, after the COVID-19 took place in the early 2020, we have been facing some problems due to the downfall of the hydroelectric project, and some of our investment do not generate enough revenue. So we are trying to put our best effort into repairing and changing the management of our budget, as well as the economic situations with our own ability, and working on some economic cooperation with China to develop some special economic zones. The cooperation can provide more trust and investment between the two countries, providing opportunity for business and jobs on the both sides of the border, reducing our reliance on China to a lesser extent than before. Now we would like to give the remaining time back to Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. The Chair would like to take 30 seconds to summarize Laos Delegate's speech. China is an essential ally of the Laos People's Democratic Republic and one that Laos relies on to foster economic stability. However, since the COVID-19 incident, Laos has been confronting a severe tragedy brought on by their over-reliance. To lessen their over-dependence, Laos has made the decision to use their own resources as much as they can. Together with a few Chinese firms to establish economic zones that offer chance for commerce, investment, and job opportunity for both countries and the people of both nations. Now the Chair would like to invite the Federation of Malaysia to express their concerns. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Greeting His and Her Excellency, representative of all Asian member and guests. It is our honor to be here for today. Regarding Chinese investment and trade, we, on the behalf of Federation of Malaysia, very appreciate that China has helped develop the economic sector for our country. Our economy has been transformed since 1970 from one based primarily on the export of raw material to one that is among the strongest, most diversified, and fastest growing in Southeast Asia. We have built economic relations with many countries, and those include China, which now has become one of the largest investing and trading partners. Due to Chinese investment in trade, we have experienced significant improvement in various sectors, including public transportation, tourism, and manufacturing. Additionally, our infrastructure, including industrial business, highway, and building, have been improved as well, making it stable and attractive location for investors from other nations. However, the past 2 years of COVID-19 have brought a valuable lesson that over-dependence on China for the economy can bring among unforeseen risks. China has withdrawn its business and investment from our country, and our economy has dramatically decreased in 2020. Despite that, China is still ready to work with us to restore and strengthen the economy by expanding trade, promoting transformation, and develop service. We would like to hand the floor back to Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. The Chair would like to take 30 seconds to summarize the Malaysia Delegate speech. China investment and trade has helped Malaysia with economic developments such as transportation, tourism, manufacturing, as well as infrastructure. Though Malaysia's economy has dropped in 2020, China is willing to continue to work with Malaysia to restore the situation back. Next, the Chair would like to invite the Union of Myanmar to express their concerns regarding the issue. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, His Majesty, His or Her Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, all distinguished delegates from all member states of the ASEAN nation. We, the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, would like to present our speech. We, Myanmar, have a very high commitment in building strong relationships with all ASEAN members in the economic sector. We would like to refuse to be over-dependent on China in terms of trading because some consequences will affect the country in the near future. For instance, before the pandemic, the business with China have provided Myanmar lots of advantages. China has provided an unreturned fund to Myanmar in order to build new roads, develop the infrastructure, and support the healthcare system. At the same time, China gets advantages from Myanmar in collecting the natural resource and increasing their military power and political geography in Southeast Asia. In addition, after the pandemic broke down, Myanmar has encountered a lot of issues regarding the economic system and other sectors. Instead of over-dependent on China, we, the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, would like to urge all ASEAN members to support the ASEAN economic communities, which could provide many benefits to us. Although we face the COVID-19, all member states should support each other throughout the imports and exports in ASEAN. As we are one vision, one identity, and one community, we, the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, have a strong perspective in strengthening the prosperity in the community without relying on China. And we would like to hand the floor back to Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Delegate. The Chair would like to take 30 seconds to summarize Myanmar Delegate's speech. The Union of Myanmar would refuse to be over-dependent on China in terms of trading. Even though the countries earned benefits from China, after the COVID-19 pandemic, they encountered many issues, especially economic sectors. The Union of Myanmar recommends all fellow ASEAN members to support the ASEAN economic communities for prosperity of ASEAN. Now, the chair would like to invite the Republic of Philippines to express your concerns. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
First of all, let me greet His Majesty and His Entire Excellency, the Chair of ASEAN and all ASEAN members. Now I would like to begin my speech. The Philippines has had economic link with China since the 10th and 16th century, and in 1975 a bilateral investment treaty and a double taxation agreement was signed. However, the Philippine economy effectively shut down during the COVID-19 pandemic, which making it difficult for the nation to sell agricultural products to China. The Philippines is heavily dependent on China due to restriction on foreign ownership, inadequate public investment, and a lack of transparency in procurement tender. So we, the Republic of the Philippines, have to maintain an effective economic relationship with China while pursuing our own national goal and value, which is how we envision this conflict. So the cooperation plan is as follows. First, the Republic of the Philippines and all ASEAN countries should have agreement on the trade of agricultural products, the renewal of the ASEAN agreement on its participation in China Belt and Road Initiative, and as well as the MOU on digital cooperation as well as tourism cooperation. Second, we should have a strategic development policy framework that focuses on improving transparency and accountability in governance, strengthening the macroeconomy, boosting the competitiveness of our industry, facilitating infrastructure development, and also ensuring ecological integrity to reduce dependence on China. Last but not least, all Asian nations and China should work together to address common interests or problems, such as illegal migration, drug trafficking, taxes, climate change, discrimination, and human rights. Therefore, we must find a resolution and hold a major summit to discuss finding a solution together. So that's all for my speech, and I will now return the floor to Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Delegate. And now the Chair would like to take 30 seconds to summarize Philippine Delegate speech. The Philippines is strongly reliant on China. As a result, the Philippines must maintain an effective economic partnership with China. And as a result, the Philippines must maintain an effective economic partnership with China while pursuing their national goals and values. Which is how they perceive the struggle. However, because of the challenge of Philippines and China during the COVID-19, the trade balance between China and Philippines is imbalanced. Thus, the Republic of Philippines and all ASEAN countries should have agreements on trade with China. This also includes a strategic development policy framework. Finally, the Philippines also encourages ASEAN to work together to address common interests or problems in order to strengthen the relationship. Now the Chair would like to invite the Republic of Singapore to express your concerns. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Your Excellency, distinguished delegate, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to begin by thanking the Honorable Chair for the kind introduction. It is an honor for us to be here at today's summit. Now, as a Singapore delegate, I would like to begin my speech about position paper. Singapore and China relationship in terms of trade and commerce has been mutually beneficial, characterized by strong economic ties and strong collaboration. Both countries have enjoyed the fruit of this partnership, with Singapore serving as a key gateway for China to Southeast Asia, and China providing a significant market for Singaporean export. But as we can see, due to COVID-19, many countries have been suffering from the disease and has taught each country a really valuable lessons about unforeseen risks that come from over-dependence on China. Despite challenges posed by geopolitical tension and ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Singapore economic wasn't much affected by the issue, since we had only a little bit negative effect on international transportation, tourism, and investors. This is because Singapore, as one of the leading countries in many sectors, doesn't really depend much on China. and it doesn't mean that we stop relying on our growth trading partner, but we try to focus more on improving ourselves and implementing laws to help grow our domestic economy. For example, diversifying export and promoting regional and international commercial ties. To sum up, even though there are many unforeseen risks that occur during COVID-19, Singapore still would like to encourage the international community to cooperate to mitigate the trade posed by unforeseen risks. Furthermore, Singapore believes that the strong and promising trade ties between Singapore and China will continue, reflecting the long-standing mutual respect and trust between the two countries. So now I would like to hand the floor back to Mr. Chia. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. The Chair would like to take 30 seconds to summarize the Singapore Delegate speech. Singapore and China's trade partnership has been mutually beneficial. China has provided a significant market for Singapore's export. Singapore also has been an important partner in China's Belt and Road Initiative. However, the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the risk of overdependence on China for the economy. And Singapore is focusing on improving its domestic economy by diversifying export and promoting regional and international commercial ties. Despite the challenge posed by the pandemic and geopolitical tensions, the strong and promising trade ties between Singapore and China will continue, reflecting the mutual respect and trust between the two countries. Next, the Chair would like to invite the Kingdom of Thailand to express their concerns. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for handing me the floor. First of all, I would like to pay my greatest honor and respect to the host of the 42nd ASEAN Summit, Your Excellency, distinguished delegates, esteemed guests, and ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Thailand, it is an honor for being here to reach out our position paper. Thailand recognize China as an important economic partner. Chinese investment in Thailand have helped to boost the economy in several sectors, including infrastructure development and tourism. However, Thailand is also aware of the risks associated with over-independence on China, such as the lack of transparency and the potential impact on the environment. To mitigate this risk, Thailand is pursuing a number of strategies, including developing its economy and reducing its reliance on China by exploring opportunities for business cooperation with other countries, especially in Southeast Asia and South Asia. Ensuring the Chinese investment and trade comply with Thailand laws and regulations, and promoting transparency and good governance in Chinese investments through cooperation with international organizations. Enhancing collaboration with China in innovation and technology, particularly in emerging or advanced sectors. Promoting people-to-people exchanges to enhance cultural understanding and build mutual trust. Thailand believes that by maintaining a balanced economic relation with China and seeking to expand in partnership with other countries, it can ensure sustainable economic growth. So I would like to hand over the floor back to the Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. And now the Chair would like to take 30 seconds to summarize Thailand's Delegate's speech. Thailand sees China as an important economic partner, but it is aware of the risk of overdependence. To mitigate these risks, Thailand is pursuing a number of strategies, including developing its economy, ensuring transparency in Chinese investors, and collaborating with China on innovation. Thailand believes that by maintaining a balanced economic relationship with China and seeking to expand its partnership with other countries, it can ensure sustainability, economic growth. Last but not least, the Chair would like to invite the Social Republic of Vietnam to express their concern. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for handing me the floor. First and foremost, I would like to convey my utmost gratitude and respect to Mr. Chairman, Your Excellency, and all delegates. Regarding to the topic of over-dependence on China for the economy, we as the Socialist Republic of Vietnam are heavily dependent on China for our economy. As of 2020 and 23, China is our second largest export and trading partner after the US. We also import a significant amount of products and services from China. However, the Vietnam economy depends on China has been a source of concern for the Vietnamese government as it made Vietnam vulnerable for two economic shocks and fluctuation. Moreover, in spite of the benefits of financial investment with China, Chinese investment and trading bring numerous consequences to us, such as political and security danger. These are concerns around China's impact and use over our approaches and decisions through our financial agreement, especially natural and social impacts, since several of the Chinese investment projects have been criticized for causing environmental harm, abusing labor rights, and displacing neighborhood communities. Aside from Chinese investment and trading, we have borrowed an expensive sum amount of funding from China, basically through non-concessionary loans that have a higher interest rate and less transparency than official development assistance that can lead us to sustainability. This may posture a challenge for Vietnam's debt management and repayment capacity, particularly in times of financial downturn, and our solution to this issue is developing our own manufacturing capabilities as we are investing in our own manufacturing sector. We attempt to reduce our reliance on China for imports of manufactured goods. Other than that, we also improve free exchange agreement with a number of countries, including the United States, Japan, South Korea, and the European Union. We, the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, welcomes investment from countries other than China, as this is an exception to reduce Vietnam's dependence on Chinese speculation and attract more investment from other nations. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to hand the floor back to you.
Thank you, Delegate. The Chair would like to take 30 seconds to summarize Vietnam delegate's speech. Vietnam's economic dependency on China is a concern for the government, as it makes the country vulnerable to economic shocks and fluctuations. Chinese investment and trading bring political and security dangers, as well as concern about national and social impacts. Vietnam has borrowed heavily from China through a non-concessionary loans, which may pose challenges for debt management and repayment capacities. To address this issue, Vietnam is investing in its manufacturing sectors and reducing its reliance on China for imports. The Social Republic of Vietnam welcomes investment from countries other than China to reduce overdependence on Chinese speculation and attract more investments. The briefing paper has been presented. However, due to the time constraint, the Chair would like to adjourn this session of the summit for now, and the next meeting will be held again next session after a 10-minute break. The Chair would like to express very deep thanks to all delegates for your energetic and determined efforts to raise such precious participation to help keep ASEAN moving forward with the reality of our dreams. The Chair will hope that the next meeting will be an exciting one and will be more unexpectedly exceptional. Thank you. The meeting is now adjourned.
I would like to sponsor some chips. Please take it up. The bathroom is over there. You can take some photos if you want. Chair, don't forget to take photo of each group, each country. When you have the time, doesn't have to be now, can be the second break.
Hello. So everyone, we have another 2 minutes, so please be ready. I had fun. It was fun. Risik. Jadi risik. The second session will begin in 1 minute. Okay, delegate, it's time. The committee is now in session again. A very good evening to Your Majesty, His and Her Excellency, distinguished delegate, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back and thank you for your presence here again in the meeting of 42nd ASEAN Summit. The chair now opens the floor for motion or request. Is there any motions on the floor at this time? The chair recognizes the delegate of Malaysia. You may now have 2 minutes speaking time to raise the motion or request. Delegate, you may now have your floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Reading again, His and Her Excellency, representative of all ASEAN members and guests. We, on behalf of the Federation of Malaysia, have a motion to propose a 10-minute formal debate with 2 minutes speaking time to discuss the balance of foreign relations among the United States and China. The US-China trade war, which began in 2018, has disrupted global trade flows and led to increased uncertainty in the global economy. Malaysia, as an open economy that depends heavily on international trade, has been affected by this uncertainty. The two countries are competing with each other economically, and all ASEAN has become the target. It can be seen that the US tariff on Chinese goods have led some Chinese companies to relocate their manufacturing to Southeast Asia countries, including Malaysia. This brings
This brings us a concern about over-relying on China. The conditions of Chinese investment could raise some question. Some nations have criticized China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, for lacking transparency and for burdening developing nations with unmanageable debt. Through the BRI, China has made significant investment in Malaysia, including infrastructure initiatives like the East Coast Rail Link and the Milanga Gateway. Some nations, however, might be concerned that Malaysia is incurring an excessive amount of debt through these projects, and that it might have trouble repaying it in the future. Because of this, many other foreign countries tend to hesitate to invest and partner with us. So we would like to hand the floor back to Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. The motion is now in order. For those who are in favor, please raise your hand. Seems like there is no objection. The motion is now passed. The committee will proceed with a moderate caucus for 15 minutes. The chair will now entertain a 15-minute moderate caucus with 1.5 minutes speaking time for each delegate to discuss the matter of imbalance of foreign relations among the United States and China within our ASEAN economy. The chair recognizes the delegate of the Singapore. You may now have 1.5 minutes speaking time to discuss the matter of the imbalance of foreign relations among the United States and China. Delegate, you now may have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for having me the floor. Greeting His and Her Excellency, all representatives of all Asian members and guests. On behalf of the Republic of Singapore, we support the statement from Malaysia about the imbalance of foreign relations among other business partners. To be specific, it is imbalance between the United States and China. Undoubtedly, Singapore and China has maintained a long-standing and close relationship as trading partners. For instance, Singapore has been tied to China since Singapore was part of the British colony and as a part of Malaysia until post-Singapore independence. As the founding member of Asia, the BRI, or Belt of Road Initiative, is a good way to expand our economy with China, boost trade flow and grow in GDP of Asian countries. Nonetheless, Singapore is a country that is very strong and has an independent government that is fully maximize the use of our port to grow our GDP despite having limited natural resources. Our country has seen significant growth in GDP since our independence in 1965. And now our GDP per capita is among the highest in the world. Without doubt, Asian members should try to focus on building a strong foundation for each of their own country and also to balance the diversity to trade relationship between Asia and the western part of the world to further spread our influence and build a great tie with an open arm. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Delegate. The Chair recognizes the Delegate of Brunei Darussalam. You may now have a minute and a half speaking time to discuss the matter of the imbalance of foreign relations among the United States and China. Delegate, you now may have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Once again, greeting His and Her Excellency, on His or Her Majesty, and all Asian members. I would like to begin my speech now. We, the State of Brunei Darussalam, agree with the ideas of delegates from Malaysia. Still, we have a different point of view regarding the issue that Malaysia have proposed. For China's Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, in our country, the Mora Port, the main port in Brunei Darussalam that provides facilities for the country's international trade needs. This port allows us to import and export from into all nations around the world, which is the main source of our country's economy. Additionally, we did not receive bad impacts from China, especially during the pandemic period. Even though we did not trade with China in both import and export at that time, we still managed our economy growing. We believe that our economy is growing faster thanks to the Belt and Road Initiative that China have created in our country. All in all, using the BRI or Belt Road Initiative that China have established for us is not a bad idea at all, if we know how to balance the trading between Western or European countries and China in our countries. I would like to hand back the floor to Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. The Chair recognizes the Delegate of Cambodia. You may now have 1 minute and a half speaking time to discuss the matter of the imbalance of foreign relations among the United States and China. Delegate, you now may have the floor.
Once again, greeting Your Majesty, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, and the fellow Asian members. On behalf of the Kingdom of Cambodia, we do not agree with the issue that has been raised by the Federation of Malaysia in the point that has said that some nations have criticized China Belt and Road Initiative for lacking transparency and also for bordering developing nations with unmanaged borders. Within the BRI framework, China aims to increase trade and investment, build trade-free zone, enhance financial cooperation, access natural resources, strengthen transport infrastructure, and deepen cultural exchanges. In Cambodia, these objectives have been met and more according to the state level. Both nations have formed an ironclad friendship that has helped Cambodia try its growth and development in recent years. To illustrate, about 70% of infrastructure projects are financed by Chinese companies during Cambodia laboratories. Furthermore, China has built many mega projects in the Southeast Asian nations, such as roads, bridges, port, airport, hydropower plants, economic zones, and a national stadium. In addition, although the risk of a debt trap is palpable, the ODI report cited funding from study on the effect of the BRI project of Cambodia, which show that the risk of a debt stock rise will not pose any danger in terms of debt sustainability for Cambodia. Moreover, Cambodia will upgrade the economic model to move away from an over-reliance on China and also low value-add manufacturing, support local government, and improve their capacity to regulate, monitor, and also enforce law. Therefore, develop a framework to ensure that Chinese and other foreign investors have a more positive impact on local community. We would like to hand the floor back to the Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. The Chair recognizes the Delegate of Laos. You may now have 1 minute and a half to discuss the matter of the imbalance of foreign relations among the United States and China. Delegate, you now may have the floor.
Thank Mr. Chair for handing me the floor. And over once again, we greeting Mr. Chairs and Your Excellencies, the representative of the respectful ASEAN country. We, the Lao People Democratic Republic, do agree with the statements that Malaysia has raised earlier about the imbalance of foreign relations, and we want to add more specifically on the debt crisis. Laos is an expected country in ASEAN to benefit from the US and China trade war with the developing infrastructure in the northern province, exporting the product to China, getting more investors, and strengthening the close tie between China and Laos. However, the trade war has some indirect impact to our socio-economic development since goods are being imported to US from China may shift to regional market and could result in trade deficit as Laos can export only a small volumes of the goods to China. Therefore, we would like to encourage all members to establish solid bilateral and multilateral ties with both ASEAN and Western nations to ensure the stability of their representative nations and become more independent of themselves. And I would like to hand the floor back to Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate from Laos. The chair recognizes the delegate of the Philippines. You may now have 1.5 minutes to discuss the matter of the imbalance of the foreign relations among the United States and China. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
Greeting His and Her Excellency and our honored guests from every Asian nation, and the Republic of the Philippines agreed with Malaysian delegation regarding to the imbalance in foreign relations between the U.S. and China in the present trade war. On the other hand, we prefer to have a very viewpoint regarding what the Federation of Malaysia need to think about the condition of Chinese investment for the Belt and Road Initiative (BRE) of those efforts have been necessary in collaborating with Asian nations to advance their development road, expanding their economies, enhancing the quality of life for our citizens, attracting more foreign investment, and lowering trade barriers to reduce poverty. In reality, Malaysia formally announced its cooperation with BRI in November 2018 by formalizing the arrangement under the Memorandum of Understanding. Additionally, BRI projected to employ about 21,000 Filipinos, while other deal with Chinese business may attract 12 billion in investment to the Philippines. Last but not least, the BRI project of Chinese is not a bad investment for Malaysia and doesn't disadvantage other nation member due to the BRI continue to be a significant driving force to continue extending cooperation among the countries in the region and the world at large for the cause of peace, security, prosperity, and sustainable development. And now we would like to hand the floor back to Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate of the Philippines. And now, Chair recognizes the delegate of Vietnam. You may now have 1.5 minutes to discuss the matter of the imbalance of foreign relations among the United States and China. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
Thank you once again, Mr. Chair, Your Majesty, Your Excellency, and all delegates. We, the Social Republic of Vietnam, agree with the Federation of Malaysia on the concerns about over-reliance, lack of transparency, and their burdens on China of the Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI. Although we have officially expressed support for the BRI and has signed up for a few agreements with China to cooperate with BRI projects, we, on the other hand, also have concern about the BRI, particularly the potential for China to increase Chinese economic and political influence and death trap for Vietnam. Despite all the concerns that we have just raised, Vietnam is unlikely to entirely abandon the BRI, as the BRI provides Vietnam with an opportunity to enhance our global trade through connectivity and cooperation between countries along this road, as well as by stimulating economic growth and financing integration in general. We, the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, are still cautious about our involvement in the BRI, and we will seek to negotiate favorable conditions for all projects which agree on. We, therefore, taking a calculated approach to the BRI, seeking to enhance the benefits while minimizing the risks. We would like to respectfully hand the floor back to Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Vietnam. And now, the Chair recognizes the Delegate of Myanmar. You may now have 1 minute and a half to discuss the matter of the imbalance of foreign relations among the United States and China. Delegate, you may now have the floor. At first, thank you, Mr. Chair, for handing me the floor. So, greeting Your Majesty, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow ASEAN members on behalf of the Republic, the Union of Myanmar. We agree that the imbalance of power between the United States and China is one of the main factors that is driving tension between the two countries. However, we believe that this imbalance is not the only problem. The United States and China also have a very different view on the world orders. The United States itself as the world performs policeman, and it is reluctant to share powers with other countries. China, on the other hand, sees itself as a rising power and is determined to assert its interests on the world stage. However, we, the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, do not support the motion proposed by the Federation of Malaysia. We believe that the Federation of Malaysia is overreacting to the U.S.-China war. The war change has had a negative impact on Malaysia's economies, but it is not a disaster. Malaysia is still relatively open economics and has another trading partners besides the United States and China. We also believe that the Malaysia concerned about over-reliant on China are overblown. Since China is a major investor in Malaysia, it is not the only investor also. Malaysia also attracts investment from other countries such as Japan and South Korea. Therefore, the Federation of Malaysia should not try to isolate itself from China, since China is a major player in the global economies, and Malaysia needs to find a way to work with China in order to prosper. And at the end, we would like to hand over the floor back to Mr. Chair. Thank you. Thank you, the delegate of Myanmar. Now, the chair recognizes the delegate of Thailand. You may now have 1 minute and a half to discuss the matter of the imbalance of the relation between the United States and China. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
Honorable chairs and fellow delegates, the Malaysia delegate proposed a motion to engage in a formal debate on the imbalance on foreign relations between the United States and China. Malaysia expressed concerns about the China-US trade wars, impacts on the global trade, and Malaysia over-reliance on China. They highlighted the need for transparency in Chinese investment, particularly through the Belt and Road Initiative, to avoid excessive debt burdens. The Kingdom of Thailand acknowledged these concerns and emphasized the importance of open dialogue, adherence to international norms, and collaboration within ASEAN countries. Thailand support initiatives for economic diversification and responsible investment to mitigate risks associated with our reliance on China. They express readiness to work together to foster a balanced and sustainable environment for Asian economic growth. Thank you. We would like to hand over the floor back to Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegate of Thailand. Again, the chair now opens the floor for motion. Is there any motion for this time? The chair recognizes the delegate of Laos. You may now have 3 minutes speaking time to discuss the motion. Delegate, you may now have the floor.
Thank you, Chair, for giving me the floor. Once again, on behalf of the people and governments of Laos People's Democratic Republic, we would like to express our gratitude to the Republic of Indonesia, the chairs of this 42nd Asian Summit, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow Asian delegates. We, the Laos People's Democratic Republic, has a motion to propose a 10 minutes informal debate with 3 minutes speaking time to address the debt crisis brought on by the Chinese loan. China does have an influence on Laos for some specific things like trading and investment, especially infrastructure. China gave us a hand by lending some assets, which has become a significant consequence of the debt for the investment on construction projects. Even though the loan helped us with our development, it has also become the contrast when economic strain has occurred on a global scale ever since the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. For instance, we have worked very hard and invest a sizable portion from the loans that we received from China on hydroelectric dams. We always have an intention in doing business by selling excess energy to our neighbor Thailand and Vietnam. However, they object to the idea of building numerous dams, and some of our investment do not bring in enough money to recover costs incurred. And with the already slow growth in GDP, we ended up with our debt almost equal to 100% of our GDP in the year 2022. Due to this problem, we are concerned about repairing the management of our debt, since we have to create more economic cooperation with China in developing some special economic zone to provide trade and investment between the countries with the expectation of promoting economic growth and stability in our respective country. That is it for our motion. Thank you. We would like to hand the floor back to Mr. Chair.
Thank you, the delegate of Laos. The motion is now in order. For those who are in favor, please raise your hand. Seems like there is no objection. The motion is now passed. Again, the chair now opens the floor for either motion or request. Is there any motion on the floor this time? The chair recognizes of Malaysia, Myanmar. You may now have 3 minutes speaking time to raise the motion. Delegate, you may now have the floor. Once again, thank you, Mr. Chair, for handing me the floor and greeting Your Majesties, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow ASEAN members. On behalf of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, we would like to raise a motion to propose a 10-minute informal debate with 3-minute speech times to discuss the natural resource depletion and South China Sea incursion brought on by ASEAN-China's trade. So the conflict surrounding our natural resource has a substantial and sizable proportion of people. We have 108 GW of the hydropower potentials, which is the largest in Southeast Asia. Government sees this ways to compensate for the country relative lack of fossil fuels. Most of this potential lies in the Irrawaddy rivers, where projects are underway by China state-owned companies. They would receive 90% of the electricity produced by the project. Moreover, China collects all gold, gems, and biofuels doing the business in Myanmar, which causes Myanmar losing all the natural resources. Another one is the South China Sea incursions. Is a complex issue involving dispute between China and several Southeast Asian nations. It has been ongoing for several decades, with the tension rising in recent years due to China military of disputed waters. ASEAN-China trade relations may have contributed to the incursions, but it is not the sole cause. China territorial claims in the South China Sea are driven by a desire for strategic control over trade costs, sea lands and resources, as well as sense of political entitlement. However, trade relations between ASEAN and China may have played a role in mitigating tensions. Many Southeast Asian nations have a strong economic tie with China and relies heavily on Chinese import and investment. So they may be hesitate to take a more confrontational stance toward China in the South China Sea. This may lead China to increase their political geographies, the impacts on Myanmar sovereignty as well as all Southeast Asian nations. Inclusions, ASEAN-China trade could provide further impact to natural resource and sovereignty of other nations in Southeast Asia, whether the activity of this nation continue to rely on the Chinese economics. At last, we would like to hand over the floor back to Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, the delegate of the Myanmar. Now, the motion is in order. For nations who are in favor, please raise your hand. Seems like there is no objection. The motion is now passed. The committee will proceed with an informal debate for 10 minutes. The chair will now entertain a 10-minute informal debate discussing the debt crisis due to the loan from China. And the committee will simultaneously proceed with another formal informal debate to discuss the matter of the natural resources depletion and South China Sea incursion brought on by ASEAN-China trade. Delegate, you are now able to move and discuss the issue that are raised by the Lao People Democratic Republic and the Union of Myanmar. Thank you. The chair would like to remind that there is only a minute left. Thank you, delegate. You may now have a seat. Now, due to the time constraint, the chair would like to adjourn this meeting of the summit for now. The next meeting will be held again next session after a 10-minute break. At this very last time of the session summit, the chair would like to express very deep thanks to all delegates for your energetic and determined effort to provide precise participation, comment, speech, and argument to help keep ASEAN moving forward with the reality of our dream. The chair hopes that the next sessions of our summit would be even more unexpectedly exceptional. Thank you. The meeting is now adjourned.
time to take group photo. I mean, yeah, your country photo. You should be holding your flags.
Tại sao thì như Lan chia vào ở nước ngoài trên ta và hai chuyện to một tí chấn cái lạnh khác hay cái lạnh bọc chia cái lạnh khác hay thì liên ca khăn tuổi chân về để liên quanh hai ngon về để thương xe khăn thì thế nhỉ không sao.
Guys, check the projector. It's not working. I don't see the time.
Everyone, these are the slide deck. Hello, Nhông. Huh? Oh, okay. Sorry, because it's almost time now, so you may now have a seat, and we will start. Yeah, we will start at 7:45. So please be ready, everyone.
The committee is now in session. I extend my warmest gratitude to Your Majesty, His and Her Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, and thank you for your presence here again in the meeting of the 42 ASEAN Summit in the year 2023. The Chair would like to continue the agenda of today's summit, which is the introduced resolutions. Each delegate is kindly requested to utilize the next 15 minutes to craft 2 impactful sentences for the draft resolution. Following this period, each country representative will be invited to present their resolution. The Chair will urge all representative countries to be prepared to deliver their resolution with utmost convictions. Delegates, you may now take the time to prepare your draft resolutions. Thank you. Due to the time constraints, we will start presenting the draft resolution in 2 minutes. Thank you. now open the floor for each delegate to present their final draft resolution to the esteemed committee. With great honor, the chair would like to invite Brunei Darussalam to commence the presentations. Delegates, the floor is yours.
My warmest thanks, Mr. Chair. We, the State of Brunei Darussalam, would like to propose our resolution. ASEAN member states should diversify trade with other countries in order to mitigate the effect of any potential disruption to trade with China. Since the flow of export and import in many countries was interrupted during the pandemic, all member states have to ensure that supply chains are strong, resilient, and have alternative stability in place to keep production running in the case of unforeseen interruption. Thank you. We would like to give the floor back to Mr. Chair.
The chair expresses sincere gratitude to Brunei Darussalam. Moving forward, we would like to invite the Kingdom of Cambodia. Delegates, the floor is yours.
Once again, greeting His and Her Excellency and all ASEAN members. Thank you to Mr. Chairs. We, the Kingdom of Cambodia, would like to propose our resolution. Bearing in mind to regenerate its relationship with ASEAN and work to improve its diversification of strategic partners, particularly with others that have presence in regions like United States, Japan, and South Korea. And I would like to give the floor to the next president.
The chair extends appreciation to the Cambodian delegates. Moving forward, we would like to invite the Lao People Democratic Republic. Delegates, the floor is yours.
Much appreciated for Mr. Chairs and greeting all ASEAN members again. And we, the Lao People Democratic Republic, would like to propose our draft resolutions. Strengthened. We would like all ASEAN nations strengthen individual economic situation and relations of both bilateral and multilateral with ASEAN members and China. Thank you.
The chair expressed gratitude to the Lao delegates. Next, we warmly invite the Federation of Malaysia. Delegates, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Federations of Malaysia would like to propose a resolution. We seek to maintain good relations as well as welcome foreign investments not only from China but also the Western countries, Japan and the US in order to balance Chinese influence. That's all from Malaysia. We would like to hand the floor back to Mr. Chairman.
The chair extends appreciation to the Malaysian delegates. Moving forward, we would like to invite the Union of Myanmar. Delegates, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We, the Republic of Union of Myanmar, would like to propose a resolution. To build a strong relation, we have to strengthen the rules of ASEAN nations in order to deepen mutual trust and expand common interests for improving our ASEAN economy. We would like to hand the floor back to Mr. Chair.
The chair expressed gratitude to the Myanmar delegates. Continuing with the agenda, we'd like to invite the Republic of the Philippines. Delegates, the floor is yours.
I appreciate it, Mr. Chairman, and first of all, greeting once again, everyone. So we, the Republic of the Philippines, would like to suggest that China and ASEAN countries should sign the framework agreement on comprehensive economic cooperation, which form the legal basis for the creation of the ASEAN-China Free Trade Area, which aiming for the free flow of goods, service, and investment. And that's all for the Republic of the Philippines, and I will now return the floor to Mr. Chair.
The Chair extends appreciation to the delegates from the Philippines. Moving forward, we respectfully invite the Republic of Singapore. Delegates, the floor is yours.
We would like to thank Mr. Chair for his thoughtful and comprehensive speech. The Republic of Singapore acknowledges the growing influence of China in terms of power and economy, which is a reality that must be acknowledged, and we would like to propose our draft resolution. The Republic of Singapore believes that it is important for Asian countries to engage with China in a constructive and transparent manner in order to address common challenges and promote regional prosperity. Also call for countries in the region to uphold the principle of international law and to request the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all countries. Thank you.
The Chair extends sincere appreciation to the delegate of Singapore. As we proceed, we would like to invite the Kingdom of Thailand. Delegates, the floor is yours.
Cooperation and address any challenges in the region. The draft resolution is also emphasizing measures and to achieve its objective and to promoting such as initiative and enhancing cooperation between ASEAN, US and China. That's all. Thank you.
The Chair expressed gratitude to the delegates from Thailand. Next, we warmly invite the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. Delegates, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Socialist Republic of Vietnam would like to propose a resolution. This draft resolution aims at bolstering Asia's economic integrating through the reductions of tariffs and other trade barriers among member states. The resolution emphasizes the importance of harmonizing rules and standards as crucial objective for the region. By achieving this goal, the resolution aims to facilitate smoother business operation within the region and stimulate trading as well as attracting investment. Thank you. I would like to give the floor to Mr. Chair.
The Chair expressed appreciation to the Vietnamese delegates and extend gratitude to all ASEAN state members. We now open the floor for motion and request. Delegates who wish to propose a motion, kindly raise your hands and you will be recognized. Delegates, the floor is yours. Brunei delegates.
Once again, greeting His and Her Excellency and all ASEAN members. We, the State of Brunei Darussalam, would like to raise a motion for the closure of debate. We would like to ask all the delegates to proceed to the final vote. Thank you.
The motion is now in order. For those who are in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Seeing no objection, it is clear that the motion is passed. The Chair will now proceed to putting the whole draft resolution into voting. Since the vote must be unanimous, the resolution is only adopted when it receives 10 out of 10 votes without no or abstention. Before we proceed with the voting process, the Chair kindly requests a short recess of 5 minutes. Please utilize this allocated time to ensure that the decision is thoroughly informed and considered. Thank you. The chair wishes to announce that the allocate time concluded, and we shall now proceed to the voting process. The chair will proceed to the roll call. Delegates, as the country name is called, please raise your hand and express your vote. Brunei Darussalam, the Kingdom of Cambodia, the Republic of Indonesia, the Lao People Democratic Republic, the Federation of Malaysia, the Union of Myanmar, the Republic of Philippines, the Republic of Singapore, the Kingdom of Thailand, the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. Thank you, delegates. Now, based on the voting result, the chair would like to announce that the resolution declaration has been adopted. Now, the chair has moved to the next agenda of today's summit, which is the conclusion of the summit. Through our time together, we have discussed the pressing issue faced by our region under the topic, respond to the growing influence of China in terms of power and economy. We, Indonesia, our stand on this issue is to maintain a balanced economic relationship with China while pursuing our own natural interests and value. Subsequently, each country present their well-prepared position paper, highlight their unique perspective, and propose solutions. Here are the main statements from each nation. Brunei Darussalam recognize and maintain deepest collaboration with China while diversifying trade with other countries because the nation is concerned that the potential hazard of over-dependence on China for the economy. The Kingdom of Cambodia to continue its economic relationship with China. The country also needs to reduce its dependence on China and diversify its economic relationship. The Lao People Democratic Republic value its economic relationship with China. It is also taking steps to reduce its reliance on China and diversify its economic partnership. The Federation of Malaysia values its economic relationship with China. It is also aware of the risks associated with over-dependence and may seek to diversify its economic partnerships. The Republic of the Union of Myanmar has a high commitment to building a strong relationship with all ASEAN members in the economic sector and would like to refuse to be over-dependent on China in terms of trading. The Republic of Philippines would like to maintain an effective economic relationship with China while pursuing its own national goals and values. The Republic of Singapore believes that the strong trade tie between Singapore and China will continue by encouraging the international community to cooperate and to mitigate the threat posed by enforcing risk. The Kingdom of Thailand believes that by maintaining a balanced economic relationship with China and seek to expand this partnership with other countries, it can ensure sustainable economic growth. The Socialist Republic of Vietnam is seeking to reduce its dependence on China and diversify its economic partnerships. The discussion of today's summit was engaging, and it was inspiring to witness the level of diplomacy and negotiation demonstrated by all delegates. During the moderated caucus, delegates took the opportunity to engage in formal conversations, exchanging ideas, and building alliance. First, the Federation of Malaysia proposed a formal debate to discuss the imbalance of foreign relations between the United States and China. Malaysia, as an open economy, has been affected by the uncertainty caused by the U.S.-China trade war. Following these deliberations, each country delightedly worked on their draft resolution, striving to find common ground and devise actionable plan for the challenges at hand. The voting process allowed each nation to voice their opinions, ensuring that the decisions were made respective of their collective will. Based on the voting result, 10 out of 10 agree on the draft resolution. The chair pleased to announce that we have successfully reached a caucus on the resolution. Therefore, the resolution declaration has been adopted. Now, the chair would like to present the whole draft resolution to the whole committee. B, the member state of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, namely Brunei Darussalam, Kingdom of Cambodia, the Republic of Indonesia, the Lao People Democratic Republic, the Federation of Malaysia, the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, the Republic of the Philippines, the Republic of Singapore, the Kingdom of Thailand, and the Socialist Republic of Vietnam on the occasion of the 42 ASEAN Summit chaired by the Republic of Indonesia. Do hereby agree to do the following statement below to respond to the growing influence of China in terms of power and economy. Believe that it is important for ASEAN countries to engage with China in a constructive and transparent manner in order to address common challenges and promote regional prosperity. Also call for all countries in the region to uphold the principle of international law and to respect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all countries. Diversifying trade with other countries in order to mitigate the effects of any potential disruption to trade with China, since the flow of export and import in many countries was interrupted during the pandemic. All member states have to ensure that the supply chain is strong and resilient, and have alternative strategy to keep in place of the production running in the case of unforeseen interruptions. Emphasize specific measures to achieve its objective, promoting initiative and enhancing regional cooperation with ASEAN and China, not only China but US as well. It recognizes the importance of cooperating among member states and the role of regional organizations like ASEAN. Enhancing ASEAN economic integration by reducing tariff and other trade barriers among member states and harmonizing rules and standards is a significant goal for the region. Maintain a good relationship and welcome foreign investment not only from China, but also the Western countries such as Japan and the United States in order to balance China's influence. Rejuvenate its relationship with ASEAN and work to improve its diversification of strategic partners, particularly with others that have been present in the region like the United States, Japan, and even South Korea. Strengthen individual economic situation and the relation of both bilateral and multilateral within ASEAN members and China. Strengthen group of ASEAN nations to deepen mutual trust and expand common interests for improving ASEAN economy. Suggest China and ASEAN countries sign the framework agreement on comprehensive economic cooperation, which form the legal basis for the creation of the ASEAN-China Free Trade Area. Under the ASEAN-China Free Trade Area, are three agreements aiming to free flow of goods, service, and investment. Done on the 4th July in the year 2023 in Phnom Penh, the Kingdom of Cambodia. Thank you. Before the closure of this meeting, the Chair would like to personally thank our deepest thanks to our Excellency, the Vice Chair, and of course our fellow delegates for their strong commitment in this conference. Even though all delegates present different their own interests, indeed, today we have proven that unity does exist through our cooperation in seeking peaceful solutions to respond to the growing influence of China in terms of power and economy. Once again, the Chair would like to congratulate all delegates for successfully adopted draft resolution, and we strongly believe that the draft resolution will not only solve the issue, but it will also serve as a blueprint for a safe and cautious world. Such a safe and cautious world can only be built through sharing humanity problem and suffering. Therefore, each and every one of us shall be committed to the spirit of unity and humanity in seeking solution for any issue. Now the Chair of the 42 ASEAN Summit, we would like to adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
So next we will have photo session, but please wait. We will prepare something first. I would like to invite the representative of each country to step forward as we immortalize this momentous occasion in our collective history. Representative, as you step forward, please remember the significance of this photograph. It represents the bound we have fought, the challenge we have overcome, and the aspiration we hold for ASEAN region.
Anybody has the 14 Pro Max? Okay, can we borrow for the
We like all
Fortunately, we have observers who can help us with the photos.
We like all delegates to bring up the flag to the table.
Right, the flag as well. Who has the Pro Max, please help us with it. I'll give it to the chair. Give it to the chair. Yeah. You may want to turn it. Is it 16? Is it 16 by 9? Mr. President. Yeah. Why is the 14 Pro Max? I think everyone would recommend to use the 14 Pro Max. But just turn the 16 plus. Yes.
Okay, thank you, representative. Please stay here. We have another photo session. Thank you for patience and enthusiasm. As we continue with our photo session, I would like to extend a special invitation to each and every one of us to join us on the stage. Please feel free to come forward and be part of this historic photograph that celebrates for one.
Who has the 14 Pro Max? The chair, do you want to be on top or do you want to be down? Where do you want to be on? The chair should be together. The chair together. What we did yesterday is we have the girls on top and we have the boys. Yes. Okay, it's good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Take a lot. Can be another close up. Okay, we have 5 minutes for my feedback, so can you just return first and then you can take on from you want.
All delegates, please return the flag and the placard on the table.
Guys, do you want to ask me a question? If not, thank you, you can wait outside. I have to give some private feedback to this. Thank you for coming.
Testing. All right. Before we begin, let's hear a big round of applause to the chair. And second, let's hear a round of applause for yourself. Okay, I think we did great today. I put here checking attendance. Is everybody here today except for one foot, right? You guys, but I wonder about Vietnam group. Where is the other person? Sorry? But does he come to class? No. Normally? No. So the person doesn't exist.
He exists but as a ghost.
Why is it?
He exists but as a ghost. I mean, he can
Okay, so Vietnam group has to talk to me later. So one thing I would like to apologize that I didn't inform you that we have observers. Maybe you might feel uncomfortable, but I guess it's good to be uncomfortable because the session is supposed to be very formal as well. So with the presence of an observer, you guys will behave differently. Sorry for that, but it's also a good thing. What can I say today? As expected, I feel very, very proud of your class and for each and every one of you guys. I think it was so very well done. Maybe it was even a little bit too well prepared. That it might look like a performance or something. But anyway, we had some problem with the time, but we finished everything. We did everything. So this was wonderful. What I wanted to say is that this was really, really great. Last time I told you guys that for the first simulation that we had, your class and E3.4 did well, while E3.1 and E3.2 didn't do so well. And yesterday E3.4 got a little bit like told off by me a bit, and
I do understand that it was because of the rain. Some people were absent, some people turned late, some people were absent, but it was a little bit messy. But today I cannot find the right word to say, but I'm just too happy. It was almost perfect. Yeah. I'm too happy. And yeah, just like look at everybody. It's well dressed. Everybody is well dressed. Everybody follows the rule. This is a very good example of how good discipline is. And once everybody is disciplined, everybody follows the rules. Everybody can be happy. Yeah, we can all be happy. We can all be satisfied. Things go smoothly, and we can all be happy. Yesterday, there were students who came to, I remind so many times that simulation is like your test, and there was one student who came with nothing like his relaxed day, and he was wearing flip-flop to the all simulation, so I cannot believe it. So that's why I just want to say I'm too happy today for what I see today. Okay, so I don't have much to comment because it was so great. A few problems was with this slide. It's Indonesia, but Phnom Penh, Cambodia. So I know. Do you want to explain something about that? Or? I know that the chair was so stressed and did lots of preparation, but
even though today and this year, Indonesia is chair, we also have meeting in Cambodia and other countries.
Oh really? Okay, I didn't know that. A few things I wanted to say is, yeah, in the beginning I have heard some phone ringings, and also especially be very, very cautious of the materials we have here. The labels were falling, the flags were falling. You guys are grown up. I mean, everything was okay. I was so happy, except that few things. I want you guys to be careful about those stuff. Be careful with the time, and also the chair group. As again and again, I really appreciate the hard work, the effort you put into all this. But please check my message when I sent to you guys. I told you during the simulation I will be sending a message, so check it out so that the event will go smoothly. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all. The chair, please also send the slides to me. I'm going to recommend the other classes to use it as well. And yeah, I think that's all. Last but not least, don't forget to upload all the photos in the folder that I created in our channel. I will upload the 3 hours video into that folder as well. So all the photos I took today, as well as the video. Yeah. I think that's all for me. Cheers to you guys, and take as much photo as you want.
Everyone, please remove all the sticker on the table.